I just lost it when I told my spiritual director about that encounter, because at that time it was at the height of everything going wrong. My kids, it seemed like we couldn't go 4 days without some sort of major crisis scenario. And I was trying to buckle down and control. Dan was as well. We were both not our best selves, not our best parenting selves. And we were so exhausted. And for Jesus to cook for me in the middle of that, when I felt like everybody needed something from me at all times, and there was never enough for me, for him to just say, with his actions, no words, I see you. I love you. Let me cook you dinner. It just felt like love in a way that no propositional truth could have met me or communicated to me. So that practice of imaginative contemplation, which is still an important one in my life. I actually now lead a group that practices this. We meet a couple times a month, and the group is called Come and See, from that passage in John 1. It's just that's continued to be formative for me. So yeah, there's this spiritual formation piece, right, to my healing, my feeling loved and treasured and not forgotten or discarded. One of the lies that I was repeating over myself as things were all going wrong was that this was such a waste. This whole church plant was such a waste. And not only did it not amount to anything for Dan and I, it ended up hurting our kids. And I think Jesus, that imaginative experience at the table, was the first time that I began to really receive his love. And gosh, there's so much goodness and beauty that he can bring out of the worst possible scenarios. And when I was able to receive his goodness and his love and his provision for me in the middle of all of that, is when I started to maybe kind of release that narrative that everything had been a waste. And I look back on it now, our kids are doing so much better. Dan and I are both practicing ministry in a new way. Me as a coach and he as a spiritual director, we're both in this spiritual formation program, doctor ministry program. There's just so much good that God is bringing out of that time.